Hi, I'm Mark Isham, and I composed the music for Reservation Road. The orchestration for this score is unique. It was a low-budget film, so we had to be very clever in our design. The score needed some weight, but I didn't want it to be traditional orchestra. I thought that would be also, even if we did have the money, I felt a large orchestra would be almost overkill. The emotions in this film are so right out in the open. They're so raw that the performances are just right there in your face. So I felt there should be a certain amount of restraint in the score. So I came up with a pretty unique, I think, design. We used 3 woodwinds, clarinet, flute, and bassoon, 6 cellos, and then a very interesting sort of ensemble of guitars and guitar samples, electric and acoustic, and then a fair number of electronic elements, mostly percussion, some other atmospheric things to help. Well, obviously this is a story of a tragedy, and there's a lot of moments of dread and almost horrific feelings, and electronics can always help with that sort of emotion. So the first chapter of Reservation Road, of course, is the tragic hit and run. That scene is relatively short, the actual event itself, and of course the music, it has a little bit of the action-y push and then the hard hits and stuff, but almost immediately it steps back and more into the real vocabulary of the score, which is of course the emotional reactions to this. The ongoing few scenes after that are literally, the music is just still. It's just, it tries to capture this incredible loneliness and abandonment and like having your emotional wind knocked out of you, you know, that these characters are feeling. So in Act 2 of Reservation Road, an interesting element comes forth, is the relationship with Mark Ruffalo and his son. In other words, this is the father who has committed this crime. He has a son who he's sort of estranged from. And you start to see, part of the main crux of this film is that he knows he's going to have to turn himself in. He's going to have to work up the courage, but his reservation of doing so is that he wants to be able to connect with his son before he does so. So actually one of the strongest themes of the film is developed at this point for that father and son relationship. So you have several things happening in this act. You have the 2 parents of the dead boy just suffering in agony, and a funeral scene, etc., etc. And there's a certain 2 themes that come out of that relationship. You have Mark Ruffalo's absolute fear and consternation about what is he going to do, and this is where that percussive piano cluster line comes in as the motival material for that. And then you have this beautiful little waltz played on the electric piano that's the setup for this relationship between Mark Ruffalo and his son, and of course it gets played at the ending shot of the film, which is, we end on that relationship and what has happened to that relationship.